Thank God that they didn't hear what I said before.
Hang on, I'm gonna go
That would have
live
been
now.
that would have been really weird.
It would have been really weird.
Yeah.
Not anymore. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls of all ages, thank you so much for joining us today of the Basic Nerd Experience, where we'll be talking about the closing of Monsters Cafe in Universal Studios, which is a very, very sad thing for us as well, but maybe plans for the future of something else.
Mm.
But we got to introduce ourselves first, as we all know. So I'm Elliot, your distinguished guest or host, host with the most looks like a ghost.
Oh, it looks like you're out of practice saying that shit,
I
man.
know because we haven't done one in a
Yeah,
while.
dude. Yeah, absolutely, man. Oh, for those of you who are coming back, that's the host with the most that looks like a ghost. And this is your boy, Mr. Chilean 305, coming back at you live. I know I seem a little bit out of practice too, but you know, we're here to dish out the freshest scoops on whatever's new, whatever's great, whatever's hip, what's trendy. Let's get back into it, dude.
That's right, man. Well, we got some sad news last week. I believe it was last week. That Universal Studios will be closing the Monsters Cafe. Now, for anybody who doesn't know what this was basically like I would say a fast food service or counter service restaurant in Universal Studios, the park. Basically, you go in and it was basically the food wasn't really that great. I'll be honest, it was kind of but it was all about the ambiance of the place. It was great because
Burgers were kind of fire though.
really.
Kinda. I mean, they're not the best. I mean, I think Fuddruckers is better, but
Oh
hey,
yeah,
I'm not lying. I'm not lying.
it was.
Like, if it didn't activate a little bit of a taste bud in the back of my mouth, it's good.
That's good.
That's good.
It'll spark the memorable moment with your food. But the great thing about this place was the ambiance. I think that was the biggest highlight of Monsters Cafe was that you can go to different rooms and see different, like you go to this room and it was like the Dracula room. You go to that room, it was the Creature of the Black Lagoon. And it was great. And like it was, I love the ambiance. I had a lot of fun. As we said many times on this podcast, we love Universal Studios.
Yeah. We did
It's
2 freaking episodes about it. We should be.
I know that's true. We either we love it or hate it. I think we could say we love it for this rest.
Yeah.
Would you say love it or hate it for this restaurant?
With this one?
Yeah.
Okay, I guess we're doing I guess we're doing a little love it hate it section here. I mean, I would say love it. I would say I do. Even though the food isn't anything to write home about,
Right.
but as far as the ambiance is concerned, there's this one little experience with the Wolfman thing that I had where, I was actually kind of scared. Like, because believe it or not, there was this do you remember Scooby-Doo on Zombie Island?
I know of it. I never seen it.
Okay, well, you got to watch it, by the way. Your childhood is missing if you haven't seen that. But like the Scooby-Doo on Zombie Island is one of those freaking movies where Scooby Dooby and the gang, they go, like, they all reunite after getting jobs and being professional, except for Shaggy being a security guard and stuff, and Scooby still being a dog.
Why is he a security guard?
What else? What kind of work is there for a lonely stoner ultra instinct Shaggy out there to get? You know what I mean?
Selling weed.
Okay, even Shaggy has standards. Come on.
Oh.
Like Scoob. Like, let's bust out of here.
Ruby Rex.
Shout out to Kim, my man. Ruby Rex all the way, bro. So, I watched that movie when I was around 6 or 7 years old.
This is animated, by the way, right? It's not like a horrible live action Cartoon Network movie.
No. This is the farthest thing from that corporate trash. Like, it's still Warner Brothers, but like they're actual artists drawing hand animated scenes in movies here. This is a Zombie Island.
Animated?
Hand animated?
Sorry, that was just an interesting way you described it. But sorry, it was continue, sir.
So the whole point of this movie is that the gang gets brought back together because there's a little mystery to be solved on a little place called Zombie Island. Well, it's not really Zombie Island, but it's an island where there's this headmistress and her butler, her daughter, I believe, yeah, who start to describe weird things going on in the island. Like, for example, there are ghostly things. Ooh, scary shit, and there's there's writings on the wall. And it starts off like a typical Scooby-Doo type of thing, but it's the farthest thing from it, because that night, Shaggy and Scooby are in the mystery machine, and they start getting hungry. They start looking for food and stuff. And then there's this freaking zombie who comes in, scares them, and then Shaggy drives off. Like, they just leave the gang there. I know, asshole. But however, the gang catches up with them and sees that, oh my God, these are zombies. But Fred is just like, all right, but I'm not Daphne. But like, he says that he tries pulling off the mask of one of them, but he can't. He realizes that they're real. And there's this, yeah, that's some really weird, and the animation is great, by the way. And there's a tenant who looks after the land, and at night he turns into a wolfman, a werewolf. And the transformation scene was very horrifying to me at the time. Like, I don't think I pissed my pants, but it was pretty damn close. Yeah, but like, that transformation scene stuck with me. And that year I went to Universal Studios. I was like, oh, let's go to Monster Cafe. Let's do this. So my dad had the brilliant idea of sitting at the Wolfman section of this restaurant. And I was
what drew him to do that was a bad awkward sentence. Take two.
Bacon burger.
Better like it's Beckham. What drew your dad to sit in the Wolfman section?
I can either think it's one of two things. One, he just wanted to find the most convenient spot to sit, and two, because he hates my ass. But either one of the two, it doesn't matter to me. The point is, we sat at the Wolfman table. There we go. We were in the section, all good and ready to go. And there were these, like, it's a family-friendly restaurant, but like, on the walls, I do remember there being designs of the Wolfman that nowadays, like, I look back at them and they're really good. But at the time I was 8 years old. I didn't know any better. And I thought it was scary to me. And I had to hold this in because I didn't want to ruin the 44 caliber good time that we were having, So
right.
Like, at the same time, I was trying to enjoy my food. That's where the burger comes in, a cheeseburger, And and I do remember, like, I don't know, I don't think if this was on purpose or by accident, because this was one of the only experiences I had with the Monster Cafe. But there was a guy who came out of the kitchen dressed as a wolfman. I don't know if that's a thing in the Monster Cafe, if that's a regular thing, but the fact of the matter is, your boy was scared as shit. Yeah, like, that literally scared the crap out of me. I was just like, ah! And my dad was like, what are you doing? Why are you screaming like that for? And I was like, because it's Scooby-Doo, you know what I mean? And then my dad is like, okay, come here. So he takes me to the bathroom. And I was just like, oh man, I'm about to get a spanking of a lifetime. And then he's just like, you do realize that was just a movie, right? It's not real. It's not real. The Wolfman over there is just a man in a mask. I thought you'd learn that from Scooby-Doo. And I said, yeah, I think not really. It didn't sink in. Yeah. And so my dad was like, okay, so let's go back out there and we're going to say hi to the Wolfman. You're going to give him a nice big hug. And I was like, okay. So it was like Josh saying, like, go apologize to my wife right now, to Drake, when in reality it wasn't a Sopranos moment. It was just like, yo, man, let's give him a hug. You know what I mean? Right. Apologize to my wife, Yeah, I slept with her. But we go back outside. We go face to face with the Wolfman. He was terrifying my little brother, but my little brother was brave. He didn't understand what was going on. He was 3. So I come in.
Nico being 3. That's a funny image.
Yeah. Nico being a kid. But like, we go back and my dad, he he starts doing his dadisms. He's just like, ah, it's a wolf man. He's like, ah, and he gives him a hug. So I look at this and I start enjoying myself a bit. I was like, I guess maybe he's not so bad. And so the wolf man kneels down, goes like this, and I give him a nice big hug. And I'm just like, oh, he's like a big dog. Oh, it's so cute. Look at this shit. It's so cute. Yes. And then after that, I don't know. I started liking wolfmen, not in a gay way, but in like a fascinating type of way.
I know what you meant.
I just wanted to make it clear.
I
But
keep going.
So I remember leaving Monster Cafe feeling like I got over a fear that was momentary, but like it did stick with me and I really got to thank my dad for that one because, well, he was being frank with me. He wasn't talking to me like as if I was like, well, yeah, like I am his son, but he was being frank with me. He was saying, hey, it's not real. Like the imagination is a wonderful thing, but you got to rise. You got to rise above, like,
we gotta rise above. We gotta rise above.
We got to rise above. Yeah. Yeah. But yeah, man, that's my experience with Monster Cafe. And I'm happy to say it was a very pleasant one.
Was that the only time you ate there?
I believe so. I believe it was the only time I went there.
It seems like a very downgraded version of the Sci-Fi Dine-In that's in Hollywood Studios.
Sci-Fi Dine-In is that near the Indiana Jones ride?
No, it's by Star Tours.
Yeah, that's. Oh, wait, never mind. It's across from. Sorry, it's just I haven't been to Hollywood Studios in a long time, Kathleen. But yeah,
continue. Why is Kathleen Kennedy like? What?
That's a story for another day, boy. Continue.
Is she the reason why you can't go to Galaxy's Edge or whatever? Like, no, Sci-Fi Dine-In is. I'll explain Sci-Fi Dine-In. So, Sci-Fi Dine-In takes place. Do you know where the ABC commissionary is? That the ABC, it's like ABC Food Court.
Yeah,
it's right by there.
The one with the freaking posters of Jimmy Fallon, Jimmy Kimmel, and Jimmy Neutron, all Jimmys.
Well, only one Jimmy is that's under the Disney umbrella was there.
Okay, I'm sorry. I I didn't mean to rustle some Jimmys, but go for it.
So Sci-Fi Dine-In was a place where it was supposed to be set like, oh, you're in the 50s, 60s, and so you basically would check in, and you're the whole point is you're there to see sci-fi movies, and it's also really bad ones that like when you're like 5 years old, you think this is like the most serious shit, but then it's like when you're like you start becoming more aware of life and reality, it's kind of like, oh, this is awful but fun to watch at the same time.
Yeah, Scooby-Doo Cyber Attack.
Yes, or Scooby-Doo 2 Monsters Unleashed.
Oh yeah, direct. You're not gonna believe this, but the name of one of the producers is called Richard Suckle.
I think I knew that.
Just wanted to put that out there. James Gunn, you are a great director, by the way. Thank you for giving me that.
Oh. Eddie. So in Sci-Fi Dine-In, so basically you're supposed to be transported to back, you're time traveling back, and you're gonna have some classic American food with like hamburgers and pizzas and all that stuff, So the cool thing is that when you get in, you sit in one of these cars and you watch a big thing of the movie, or of the trailer for it, or of trailers of horror movies from the 60s, 50s, right, and 60s. And they had stuff like Plan 9 from Outer Space, which is considered to be one of the worst movies ever. They played the trailer for that. There was also other stuff like Attack of the 50-Foot Woman. And then there was, it's just funny watching those trailers because when I was 5, I was like, wow, this is amazing. This is like astonishing. Is this happening or whatever? And this is also when back in the 60s when threat of nuclear war was happening, and
Right.
that was like a huge theme. So like one of them was movies was supposed to be like this big giant Gila monster that was attacking a town.
Hmm.
And the funny thing is that they're trying to show how realistic it is, and it's like you'll have your eyes in awe watching this. Your eyes will be glued to the screen about this. But then it's like it's in black and white, and the funny thing is like these everyone's so the Gila monster, right? It's like walking through whatever. Meanwhile, this guy is like walking like a sleeping gumbo, like Jar Jar Binks in episode 2, and it's like taking his time getting through town. But then like the camera cuts to like okay, so one scene is like the Gila monster is like making a rampage across the town and goes
Okay.
towards this bar area or whatever. And a lot of the town folk are there and talking whatever, and they see. I'll see if I can find it, but it'll take forever to log in or whatever. But if anybody's watching out there, look for the Gila monster. I forget what it's called. Attack of the Lizard. I forget what it's called. But
Hmm.
there's the funny shots where like when they see the Gila monster is like attacking, and it's like he infiltrates by literally sticking his head in like this, and is a blank face, no expression, and just like it goes. That's all he does. But then meanwhile, there's like women like, oh my god, like they're like running out, whatever. Meanwhile, he just like walks like ever so slowly across town and like literally only moves car, whatever. But that's the thing is like they're trying to show how big and massive it is. But meanwhile, you can see how like when they made this like I don't know this they built like this little community of houses or whatever like mini scale stuff, and this like small lizard is like attacking it. So it's just funny to do that. But the reason I brought this up is because Sci-Fi Dynasty, I feel like, is a callback to Monsters Cafe, because
Mhm.
Monsters Cafe would have trailers of the different horror movies, and I like that because it was one of those things where, like, the first time I ever went there was with Javi actually.
Shout
Um,
out to Javi, yo.
right, and him and I, because he loved Dracula, he liked the Bela Lugosi, and he loved that shit.
Hmm.
And so we went to this, like, let's get something to eat. Him and I were that was actually when we saw Slayer actually. And the next day we went to
Ah,
Universal. We did if you're listening out there, we did an episode early in our podcast career about that. So check that out whenever you get a chance. That was a fun one.
that wasn't the episode where you were talking about J. Jonah Hitlerson, are you?
That was the same one.
The same one?
Yeah.
Oh, gotcha. Where you were talking about revising a certain mustache.
Yes.
Cool.
Because one newspaper editor looked a lot like a very famous dictator.
Yeah,
Uh,
yeah.
Hitlerson. But um but when we went to this cafe, I had no expectations and I knew nothing about this, but I liked it because it put a pin into, or it planted a seed in my head of what I wanted to watch. Because I was curious, like, why is it so popular? Because people would idolize these movies, even though they're made like the first Dracula movie was made like 1931.
Yeah.
Like, that's when the Great Depression was just starting. That's or it was a 31 or 33, I forgot. But like it's just astonishing. That was like the first ever cinematic universe when you really think about it. There's
Oh
no
yeah, the
like
Dark Universe.
yeah, I wish it was still a thing, but it's not anymore.
Yeah, that's depressing.
Yeah, it sucked. Like Johnny Depp was supposed to be Invisible Man, and like Angela Jolie was supposed to be Bride of Frankenstein. Like it was supposed to.
Yeah, it would have been so much better than that Eternals bullshit.
Why was wrong with the Eternals?
Uh, I kind of fell asleep watching it.
Really?
It's just not that entertaining, man.
Was it the
It's
same?
no like like it doesn't hit that Thor the Dark World type scratch that I'm itching for. You know what I'm saying? I mean, Salma Hayek looks amazing any day of the week, and she is flawless in anything. But one great 50-something-year-old mama does not an Eternals movie make. I'm sorry.
Okay. Good to know with your I don't know what that was, but yes, thank you. But getting back to this cafe, it was just really great of how they integrated all the colors and the statues and how like I remember when Javi and I went there once. I only been there 2 times, but I love this place a lot. The first time we went was we went to the Creature of the Black Lagoon
Ah,
area. Yeah. He's a that one I like a lot. Like I've never I gotta watch these movies. I've only seen Dracula. I've only seen the first one, and that one's a lot of fun. But I gotta watch. I have it on DVD somewhere actually. Let me see if I can find it. Um, damn it, I can't find it. I
oh,
have them here somewhere. Yeah. Oh, that's Alien. Never mind.
Alien. Yo.
The fuck is it? I'll find it in a bit. I'll find it a bit. I got Hellboy if you want it. But
Hey,
I think I
nice.
show like I'm just gonna show you random DVDs that I have. Why can't I find it though?
I love the fact that you say, "Oh, I'll find it later," but where the fuck is it? Goddamn
Aha.
it! Ooh, damn, you weren't kidding. Look at that. That's a 6 film collection right there.
Yeah. It's Dracula, Frankenstein, Wolfman, The Mummy,
Hey,
Bride of Frankenstein, and Invisible Man.
wow. That's kind of like the Spider-Man 5 disc collection that I have in my house, except
But
it's Spider-Man and not classic collection of monsters and stuff.
yeah, the only monster is how atrocious the ending of Amazing Spider-Man 2 was.
We're gonna have to do another episode on that one.
Yes.
Because I told you before, like I'm an Amazing Spider-Man lover, and you love the Toby Kenobi series much better. So we're gonna have to do this thing, or we're gonna have to debate why one is better than the other one.
I agree. I very much agree to that. But back to the monsters.
Back to the monsters, of course.
Back to the monsters. And I was inspired by that because I've only seen Dracula. I gotta watch the other ones because I feel like it's hard to watch a movie nowadays. It's not that it's like I don't have patience for it, but it's just like to sit down and be emotionally invested in something. It's I'm basically saying that laying down and watching something is hard. No, it's more of the fact of like when you watch something, you want to be immersed into it sometimes. Sometimes when you watch something, you don't have like all the attention span because you can only watch something for 20, 30 minutes. You want to give its due time. You want to give it its time. So I definitely, I might do that tomorrow because I'm off tomorrow and I might watch one of these movies because I think they're great. And um there was this awesome thing I watched with Danielle.
Shout out to Daniel.
Shout out to Danielle to a Danicus. We went to so at UF, they have the Performing Arts Center here, and they did this awesome. They have like different shows. I've actually interviewed the director and the assistant director. Very nice people.
Hmm.
And we there were different events they do. So sometimes they'll have like, Rent the Musical is touring and they'll stop by there and play, or they'll have like a jazz trio kind of whatever. They have different things. This company did a puppet slash I don't know how to describe it, but it was very unique in telling the story of Frankenstein and how I think her name is Mary Shelley, who wrote it when she was like 19 years old. And
Hmm.
she went through a lot, a lot.
Really?
Yeah. And it was just interesting because it made me interested in like in the book. I don't want to quote on it because I don't want to provide false information because I also want to make stuff up. But I will say that it definitely got me interested in liking Frankenstein and how dark that movie is, and
How
how
hard is it?
about huh?
How hard is Frankenstein?
Yeah, but
It's a question. How hard is that movie? I
what do you
wasn't
mean
talking
how?
about. Yeah, I was talking about it. You were describing Frankenstein as it's a hard movie, man. I was just like, I don't know whether he's talking about the movie itself or the feelings that he might have been feeling while looking at Frankenstein. But why? How would you describe it as hard?
It's just kind of painful because it's about there's a lot of things about subject matter that deal with Frankenstein. One of them being that they actually it's supposed to be kind of like also talking about abortion.
Whoa.
Like originally, like this is anybody who's I just want to say anybody who's doesn't know what that is, because then we might have viewers that are like from like 10 years old till up or whatever. But like um, but I don't want to go into that much. But basically, like an example of that was like Frankenstein. I think was supposed to be yellow, for example.
Oh.
Not green. But I think in the movie they changed it to green because one, I don't think they wanted to associate that aspect of what the similarity is supposed to be from that to a movie because they don't want to think it makes I understand. Um, but they I think for green for another reason, but um because she also had a miscarriage, I believe, um about it, and it was about how they're dealing with loss as well. I think it's supposed to be more of like a miscarriage or an abortion. Basically, it's supposed to be like a baby who or a baby that really died young. I forgot exactly again, like I don't want to spread false information, but the whole point was about how when a baby like Frankenstein's a kid when you think about it.
Yeah.
It's he was basically trying to figure out what life was. And it's a classic story of like how I believe he kills a couple people, but he doesn't mean to do it because he's like 3 days old when he does this. He escaped and it was all this stuff. So I don't remember the movie being that harsh, and it's like not it's a deep movie. It's a deep meaning, like it's a very um it requires multiple watches, I would say. Like I have to watch now thinking about it, but I've only seen Dracula and Frankenstein, and they're great movies. And that's the thing. I say Frankenstein, but I mean Frankenstein's monster.
Right.
But and
Like
that's the
the
thing.
actual scientist is Frankenstein.
Exactly.
But who's the real monster, the creation or the doctor himself? That's another question.
I would say it's a doctor.
Yeah. When you really break down and think about it, it's like this isn't something along the lines of it's okay. Take Saw for example. Jigsaw is up there as one of the most iconic villains in horror movies. And Jigsaw, the whole reason why he does what he does is because he wants to give people a chance to survive and get out of the bad habits and evil that they've done in the past, give them a chance to survive through strengthening their will.
Right.
And all this came because Jill, Jigsaw's wife, had a miscarriage because there was a guy who slammed her body against the door and he didn't know that she was pregnant. So she ended up doing a miscarriage. And when that happened, Jigsaw ended up tracking down the guy and basically doing his first jigsaw trap. So he basically had to, like, he was strapped to a machine with knives here, and all he had to do to get himself free was to push his face forward and slice his face. He did it, but the guy, he wanted to attack Jigsaw. Jigsaw anticipated this. He missed, and he ended up falling into a little cage full of barbed wire. He ended up dying there. It's brutal. And
It's
so
so brutal. Those things are like I think only certain people can handle that kind of those movies.
yeah, and I know that I'm saying this because of a Saw movie. They basically classify them as torture porn at this point, but like I would disagree. Like I think at the core, it's up there with the classic monster movies because Jigsaw, believe it or not, although I get his intentions, he's a monster. He's killed people. Like he justifies it as saying, "Oh, it's rehabilitation." Every time I put them in a trap, he or she is instantly rehabilitated. No, you killed people, you son of a bitch.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
it's trying to make you think about it, but like the later movies later dig into it, but I can find a little bit of a comparison with Frankenstein because whether you like it or like, think of Frankenstein as like an extended metaphor of how we create our own demons, we create our own monsters. And that's why it stood the test of time. It's timeless. And from there, we have things like Saw, Wrong Turn, the Wrong Turn series.
Or
Hell, I could
Scooby-Doo 2,
or
Monsters Unleashed.
produced by Richard Suckle, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you, James Gunn. You are the best, bro. I love you. But
True.
yeah, man. Like from there, like I don't know which one came first, Dracula or Frankenstein. But point of the matter is, they're both influential to the.
Think
Which one
Dracula?
was it? I think
Doesn't say. But
doesn't say. Okay, fine. But point of the matter is, they're both influential, and they've left a staple on the horror genre.
and it starts with books. It started like Invisible Man was written by H.G. Wells. I believe Dracula was based off of like Bram Stoker's,
Bram Stoker. Yep, that's
and
Dracula.
Frankenstein by Mary Shelley. I don't know about Wolfman.
I'm not sure who created Wolfman, but I would like to thank the man or woman who did it.
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah.
It's a good series, but one thing I do, so I'll go back to the cafe, but the cafe is funny. Like I love I really oh,
Are you all right, buddy? You dropped your cable there, bro.
yeah, my cable is all good.
Sweet.
I'm the cable guy. Um, bad joke.
Where's my gun? Shit.
Um, I like the ambiance of a place. I love taking things in. I love the smells. I love using all my five senses. I'm not gonna taste the place. Besides that, I'm not gonna.
I was about to say, are you gonna have a little private one-on-one time with the creature locked with the freaking wolf man? Or are you gonna lick his tailbone? No,
Yes, I'm gonna lick his fur.
you just made it worse.
Moving onward, I would say that I like taking in the ambiance of things using four of my senses. I would say like I would say seeing seeing it and listen and hearing like I like when you walk in and order food. There's a thing from Frankenstein movies where like that it's alive, the machine they use to like get the lightning to transport into Frankenstein that towards us. I like that. And I guess they do that to make burgers, so that's how they use lightning. I don't know what their story was getting.
And the waiter is the guy who talks like this. I can't bring people back from the dead.
Yes.
It's not a pretty picture. I don't like doing it. You know,
Genie.
it's freaking yeah. You glittering idiot. You know, yeah.
Yeah, but other than that, you got it.
You got it.
But the thing I didn't like about the restaurant was that, and this is the problem with all the Universal stuff, they kept pushing the shakes. They kept saying, "Do you want a shake?"
Oh yeah, like yeah. As someone who wasn't there regularly, I did remember they were. Yeah, I do remember that.
Like they were hounding upon, like, "Do you want a shake?" And my dad one time was like, "No, the third person asked me. I just want a drink of water." He goes, "I don't want a fucking shake." Like,
it's like Oliver Twist. Would you like another? Would you like another? Would you like another smoothie or something like that? It's like, no, fuck off, kid. Sheesh.
Yes. Like and that's the thing, they kept pushing the shake, and you know what, a shake is good when it's like your last meal and you're not gonna do any like heavy walking around two parks. Like it's you get easily dehydrated, or you'll get a headache. Like it doesn't, and it's this weird. You ever get that weird feeling where like you haven't brushed your teeth for days after you have some sugary items? Like it gives you that taste too. So it's not fun.
Have that bit of grime in the back of your teeth that make your eyes swell.
Yeah, I guess they did it to feel like, ooh, this is what the Wolfman's teeth feel like.
Yeah, or your average heroin addict at the back of the library.
That's right. Damn it, Jerry. But yes. But yeah, I think that was yeah, like I liked it. It's sad that it's gonna be closing, but I know that Universal Studios has a third park opening up in Orlando called Epic Universe. It's being built there. I believe. Oh, by the way, it's confirmed that Marvel superhero. No, I'm sorry, Mario, Mario Land is coming to Orlando.
What? Wait. What?
Mario, the Super Mario Land that they did, Nintendo
Oh,
World is going is
it's the
coming to
the
Orlando.
freaking it's a me Mario. Yeah.
Isn't that Luigi and Luigi's Mansion?
Oh yeah.
Yahoo! But it's coming. So it's gonna come to. I believe it's going to Epic Universe, and they're gonna have a own pavilion for Universal Monsters.
Hey, nice. Good to know. The old monster's getting some respect finally.
And I like that. I like when they're respecting the the company when it first had those monsters, like back when they first started X amount of years ago.
Yeah.
And the new ones were, I mean, they were trying to start a new thing with, but Dracula Untold tried to do that, but it didn't do anything
Yeah. It was kind of
with
a flop. And then you remember the Mummy?
Tom Cruise.
Tom Cruise, yeah.
Did you ever see that one?
Yes, in theaters.
And
It was only mid with a capital D.
what would you rank it out of 10?
5.
Why was it that bad?
It's just the story didn't make much sense. The progression of events just didn't make a lick of sense. Like out of nowhere, Dr. Jekyll and Hyde come in literally halfway through the movie, right? Russell Crowe, right? Like, Gladiator. Are you not entertained? Like that guy. That guy comes in, presents himself as a curator of museums or whatever the hell he is. And then, and this is what I'm talking about. Like, the pacing was not good, but it was not bad at the beginning of the movie. Like, Tom Cruise is playing like this Nathan Drake character, like he's trying to emulate the feelings of the revenge of the Mummy series of Brendan Fraser, but it like, I don't know, just something seems off. I think he's a little bit too old, maybe. But Dr. Jekyll and Hyde come in, and for some weird reason, he's an out of nowhere villain. He just comes in literally out of nowhere. The main plot is about this deity, goddess, woman, mummy thing who comes back and wants to exact her vengeance on modern day humanity for unfairly killing her. That's a good premise. Like, Emotep did it better, but it's a decent premise. But I don't know. It just gets derailed halfway through the movie, and it's just not good. Not good.
It's a bummer because it looked like it had potential. It's supposed to start the Dark Universe.
Oh yeah. Though I personally think that in my opinion, I think they should just come up with the original monsters.
Oh, you think kind of integrate both?
Yes. Yes. Like, do what the sequel trilogy tried to do and failed to do, but do it right this time. Just present monsters that are terrifying on a wow, on another level. Like, let's go. But at the same time, pay homage or pay a little bit of respect to the things that come before, because we stand on the shoulders of giants. That's where we come from. You know what I mean? Jigsaw came from somewhere, Leatherface came from somewhere, and we all know that Ted Bundy came from somewhere too.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, it'd be cool to see Cthulhu.
Yo, hey, give me that Lovecraft love, bro.
That's right. It'd be
Dude,
cool if they did that because then it'd be kind of shows more love to H.P. Lovecraft. Even though he was controversial in itself, I do think that his stories are pretty awesome.
yeah, the stories themselves are timeless.
Yeah.
I remember they tried doing something of the sort with this Christ Chris the Twilight Woman, the freaking
Kristen Stewart.
Kristen Stewart, yeah. This movie from 2018, I believe, where, spoiler alert, like they're in a rigging machine miles below the ocean, but it starts to crumble into itself because there's a monster flowing in there. And it turns out that the monster is Cthulhu. And the design, I'm not gonna lie, the movie's not bad, but Cthulhu's design was amazing. He was huge, he was bulky, he was muscular. I didn't mean to do the Ken thing, but like it just goes to show you how big this thing was. Like he had tentacles in his face, and this
It was a big Davy Jones.
it was like a big ass Davy Jones, except without the Scottish accent. Like nothing of the sort.
He didn't say, "Do you fear death?"
Do you fear that dark abyss? how how freaking Tia Dama fell for something like that, saying, "My sweet, you come for me." I'm just like, how the hell do you fall for something like that? This guy has so many tentacles. He can split you in half with his bare hands. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, it's pretty cool that he can play the piano or the organ rather with his tentacles.
Oh yeah, oh yeah.
But he always says something like it's always like over exaggerated, like Mr. Turner, like it's always like exaggerated to the highest level.
I cannot be summoned like some mongrel. Pop.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, but that's what makes the performance great. It's memorable.
Yeah, that or the you've been captain of the ship for 13 years. That was our agreement.
Price.
I was just thinking that, like,
I love that guy, man.
dude, I love the pirate movies. I really I don't know.
Bro, dude. Okay, I don't think the fans know about this, but there was originally an episode of the Basic Nerd Experience where we did talk about Pirates of the Caribbean, but it was never put on tape.
Because we never finished it.
We never finished it. We were in a small box room. It was Brandon, Gabby, Ken, you, and me. We had the top
Jose
of
too.
a piece of paper.
Jose too.
What?
Jose was there too.
Jose was there. Oh, that's right. Jose in the house was there. Shout out to the boy right there, my man.
That's right. Last Jedi still sucks. But no, and that was the thing when we first started the podcast. We never would finish episodes. It would always be started, and then it was like, I got to go home, and it was like,
Yeah. Oh, that wasn't the episode where it didn't end up being recorded, right?
no. You're talking about the one where Ken recorded it, but was on mute the entire time.
Yeah, that was funny as hell.
Bro, like we did an entire episode. The first ever episode was muted, and it was 2 hours long. And I'm glad we didn't do that one because I knew that it was just like a plant the seed, and that's the infamous Ken where he goes, "I didn't mess up, but I messed up." That's him. But you want to close this out, Andres?
Yes, my man. I gotta get going. Actually, I'm late to a hangout. Oh my god! But this is something that I was really hyped to do, and oh my god, hey, my man, thanks for bringing this out again. Like I'm hyped to do more videos right here, right now, my man. Because
That's right.
Get a whole bunch of ideas.
Right here, right now, just like the second track of the High School Musical 3 soundtrack. That's right. Yeah. Guys, thank you so much for watching us out there. Thank you guys. As you can tell, we're out of practice. Just thank you guys so much for listening to us. We're gonna try and do more episodes as much as we can. Hopefully, do once a week at least. I think would be good to do that. And we're trying to make it shorter and like 30 to 45 minutes. I think we did like a good hour, maybe.
Yeah, we did.
It was good. It was nice size. Shut up, don't say anything.
It was as focused as it needed to be.
Yes. I mean, we had little moments of ADD shining out, but it was better than nothing.
That's true. Well, my man, signing off, Shazam, as Ken once said, said, yeah, my man, guys, stick around, stay tuned. We're gonna be putting some more content out there for you. Maybe a little bit of a reaction movie thing with Alazar, perhaps.
That's right. We got to do that. We should do that with Ken the Hat.
Oh yeah, where he gets kicked in the nuts and he's like, "I'm easy like Sunday morning."
Oh man. Well, guys, thanks so much for watching. Be sure to like and subscribe and share, please, whenever you get the chance. And we got more fun episodes for you guys.
Oh
Take
yeah, love you guys to death.
take care, everybody.
Take care professionally, okay?